Okay, question 11. I am not even going to attempt to name those hamsters, we're just going to call them hamsters. Small mammals with high metabolic rates, under certain conditions they will enter torpor. An experiment was carried out to investigate the effect of daily food intake on torpor frequency. 4 groups of 6 hamsters were fed different masses of food each day, and the number of times they entered torpor in 1 week was recorded. So we've got 4 groups of 6 hamsters. Here's my 4 groups, 1, 2, 3, 4. I've got the mass they were given each day, and then the number of times they went into torpor. So quite clearly, here's our increasing mass of food, and we have a decreasing number of torpors. Okay, state an advantage to the hamsters of entering torpor. It basically means that they save energy. So it reduces metabolic costs. Suggest a reason that could have been taken, suggest a measurement that could have been taken to determine whether they had entered torpor. So torpor is where they reduce their metabolic rate, so you have to have some kind of measure of that. Your best one is probably temperature. So you could use an IR camera and you could see whether the temperature core had dropped. To measure metabolic rate, we're really looking at oxygen consumption. Flip of that is obviously CO2 production. Really temperature I would say is your best. The average time spent in each period of torpor was 120 minutes. Calculate the average time spent in torpor per day by a hamster with a daily food intake of 2.5 grams. Okay. Right. Sorry, I just dropped my calculator on the floor. Right. Where are we going? So we have 120 minutes. Calculate the average per day by a hamster with a food intake of 2.5. So here's my 2.5, group 1. Number of torpors, 42. So average time per day, 42 times in a week. So I've got, we're going 120 minutes times by 42 means that they were in torpor for 5,040 minutes in 1 week. Okay, divided by 7 means that they were 720 minutes in a day. Oh, that's it. Oh, okay. I was looking for something more complicated. That's it. Okay, state how the design of the experiment ensured that the results were reliable. Reliable is to do with repetition. 4 groups of 6 hamsters. There's your issue. 6 hamsters means that you made it more reliable. Suggest a factor other than daily food intake which could affect torpor frequency. I'm expecting the most common one would be temperature, because that impacts on how, if they're regulators, how much energy they need to burn to maintain a particular metabolic rate. So the higher the temperature, the less they need to use. So that could reduce their torpor frequency. There are other things that could be triggers. Could be seasonal. So I did notice that they had a photo period down on the mark scheme. So a photo period means that they're looking at the length of the day. So that'd be a seasonal one. Okay, daily torpor is a way in which animals survive adverse conditions. Give one way in which animals avoid adverse conditions. Sorry, this is survive and we've got avoid. So avoid means I need to get out of it entirely. So that's migration. And that's the question.